Hey guys, so I'm planning to right now do my last video, my last NHL video, and this one is going to be, good question, I actually don't know, but this is just going to be the last series that I haven't done yet, so I'm going to get into it. What is it? So the Hurricanes and Capitals, so I have that video done, yes I do, okay. So as usual, I'm just going to normally go through all the stats and everything that I have, and everything like that. So, starting with this season's series, of course. So December 27th in Washington, Washington won 3-1. March 26th in Washington as well, Washington won 4-1. And then 2 days later, March 28th in Carolina, Washington won 3-2. So Washington swept this season series 3-0. Sorry, they outscored them. 4 + 3 is 7. They outscored them, I think 10-5. If I know math, yes, 10-5. No, 10-6. So Washington's record is 48-26-8. They're first in the Metropolitan with 104 points. Carolina is 46-29-7, first in the wild card with 999 points. Washington's home record is 24-11-6, and their away record is 24-15-2. Carolina's home record is 23-13-4, and on the road they're 22-16-3, and of course Washington has home ice in the series, just to let you know. So their final 3 games, Washington coming in 1-2-0 in their final 3, a 5-3 loss in Florida, a 2-1 win at home against Montreal, and a 3-0 loss at home against the Islanders. Carolina is coming in 3-0-0 in their final 3 games, 4-1 win in Toronto, 3-1 win at home against the Devils, and a 4-3 win in Philadelphia. So for the goalies, Holtby is 32-19-5. Of course I didn't write the save percentages, stupid. And then Mrazek is 23-14-3. Washington in their last 10 is 6-3-1, losing their last game, and Carolina is 6-4-0 in their last 10, winning the last 3. So going through the round 1 schedule, so game 1 will be in Washington Thursday, April 11th at 7:30 p.m. Game 2 in Washington Saturday in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Game 3 in Carolina at 7 p.m. on Monday. Game 4 in Carolina on Thursday, so like a few days off at 7 p.m. And then if necessary, Game 5 in Washington Saturday, Game 6 in Carolina Monday, and Game 7 in Washington Wednesday. Those times to be determined. So one team won the Stanley Cup last year, the other just ended the league's longest playoff drought. The Washington Capitals are gunning for back-to-back titles after Alex Ovechkin and the boys finally broke through 12 months ago. The Caps claimed the Metropolitan Division thanks to a strong finish that would have you believe they're teeing up another run. Carolina, meanwhile, tapped into the great overarching theme of our time, polarization. I was going to say paralyzation, with their post-game storm surge celebrations. It's hard to know why anybody would hold any extra antics against the Canes, given this is the team's first trip to the postseason since 2009, 10 years. And don't forget Carolina's boom or bust history. The Hurricanes have made the playoffs just 3 times in the past 16 seasons, but even there, here's how they've fared. They lost the Cup final in 2002, won the Cup in 2006, and then made the East final in 2009. 2019 shall be determined. Of course. So going into some advanced stats, so Carolina's CF percent is 54.80, which is second. Their goals for percent is 51.95, which is 12th. Their save percentage is 92.07, which is 14th. A 7.17 shorthanded percent, which is 28th. And a 992 PDO, which is 25th. For Washington, their CF percent is 49.04, which is 18th. Their goals for is 55.03, which is 5th. And their save percentage is 92.08, which is 13th. Their shorthanded percent is 10.09, which is 1st, and their PDO is 1.002, which is 1st. So Carolina on the power play is 17.8, which is 20th in the league. Their penalty kill is 81.6%, which is 8th. They have 243 goals for, which is 16th, and 221 goals allowed, which is 8th. Washington is 20.8 on the power play, which is 12th. Their penalty kill is 78.9%, which is 24th, so a lot worse. Not a lot worse, just like the standings is a lot worse. 274 goals for, which is 5th, and 248 goals allowed, which is 17th. Again, their head-to-head record, Carolina's 0-3-1, and Washington is 4-0. Oh, so I guess I missed a game. I guess there was 4 games, but Carolina lost them all. 1 they lost in overtime. Or shootout. Okay. So since you're probably more familiar with Washington's try and try again tale, let's bring you up to speed on Carolina's backstory. The Canes for a couple seasons now have been on an analytics darling built largely on the back of a strong defense corps. Until this year, the numbers failed to translate into a playoff berth. It looked as though a similar disappointing fate would befall this edition of the squad too, after the Canes started the year 15, 17, and 5 through 37 games. To understand how different the second half of the season was for Carolina compared to the first, consider this. Both players it got in a mammoth offseason to deal with the Calgary Flames, Dougie Hamilton and Michael Furland, were rumored to be available again thanks to the team's poor performance. A month before the trade deadline, it seemed certain Furland as a pending UFA would be dealt, but Carolina, with its usual solid underlying numbers, just kept moving up the standings. The only teams with more points than Carolina's 62 in the 2019 portion of the calendar were St. Louis 65 and Tampa Bay 64. Not that the Caps were left in anybody's dust down the home stretch. Washington, which added speedy winger Carl Hagelin and a third pair defenseman Nick Jensen at the trade deadline, went 14-5-1 from late February on, giving itself home ice advantage in any Eastern Conference matchup in which it's not pitted against the Lightning. About these squads, it should be noted, are guided by freshman coaches. Todd Reardon was promoted when Barry Trotz left after Washington won the title in 2018, while Rod Breindarmer pushed all the right buttons after he too was bumped up from an assistant's role with the Hurricanes. So the X factor for the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of what drove the Hurricanes to a playoff spot was the improved play of goalie Peter Mrazek, who posted a .901 save percentage in the 2018 portion of the season and a .921 mark in 2019. Mrazek was stellar in the 10 playoff games he started for Detroit in 2015 and 2016, but he's been all over the place since then. Backup Curtis McElhaney had the opposite experience of his battery mate this year, struggling in the back half after a strong start. A pair of stud Finns lead this team offensively, but there's a sharp drop in production after Sebastian Aho, 83 points, and Teuvo Teravainen, 76. Nero Niederreiter scored at a 30-goal pace after being picked up from the Minnesota Wild in January, and the Canes desperately need that secondary offense. Another candidate to provide it is Russian rookie and 2018 second overall pick Andrei Sheshnikov, who quietly posted a 20-goal season. But could there be a win more for Willie? Rallying cry in Carolina. Captain Justin Williams has 3 rings and a Conn Smythe Trophy to his credit, and was actually brought into Washington in 2015 in the hopes his Cup pedigree would rub off. Perhaps it did, but he was already back in Carolina last year when Washington won it all. Williams was 24 when he won the 2006 Cup with Carolina and still chipped in an impressive 23 goals at age 37 this season. Washington Capitals X Factor, get ready to snark stat heads, because this has nothing to do with numbers. For years, the Capitals entered the playoffs steeped in a sense of dread. All that is gone now, and their mental state on the eve of the 2019 Derby has to be better than it's ever been. If you desire something tangible, there's the fact Ovechkin finished as the league's top goal scorer for the 8th time in his career, meaning Washington still has a guy who could go nuts at any moment. Unlike last year when he watched Philip Grubauer lose the first 2 games before taking over, Braden Holtby will be the Game 1 starter. Like his team, the veteran stopper closed strong, going 12-4-1 with a .921 save percentage in his final 17 showings. So some key injuries. So Washington has Michael Kempny, a lower body, and indefinitely, and Carolina also indefinitely, eye injury, Calvin DeHaan. So I'm going to skip this a little bit and then just go to some game breakers. So for the Capitals, forward Alex Ovechkin scored 51 times to win Rocket Richard Trophy as the NHL's leader in goals for the 8th time and become the 3rd player in NHL history with 8 or more 50-goal seasons, behind Wayne Gretzky and Mike Bossy, who each had 9. The 33-year-old led the NHL with 15 postseason goals last season on his way to winning Conn Smythe Trophy as most valuable player in the playoffs. And for the Hurricanes, forward Sebastian Aho set NHL career highs in goals, 30, and assists, 53 endpoints, 83 before going cold late in the season and not scoring a goal in his final 14 games. The 21-year-old had 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists in the 4 games against the Capitals this season and has 17 points, 8 goals, 9 assists in 12 career games. So going into some more goaltending, so for the Capitals, Braden Holtby, 32, 19, and 5, 2.82 goals against average, and a 911 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Enters the playoffs as the Capitals' unquestioned #1 this season after losing the starting job to Philip Grubauer to open the first round last season. It took 2 games before Holtby replaced Grubauer now with the Colorado Avalanche, and went 16-7 with a 2.16 goals allowed, 922 save percentage, and 2 shutouts during the run to the Stanley Cup. For the Hurricanes, Peter Mrazek and Curtis McElhinney shared the net for most of the season, but Mrazek emerged as Carolina's #1 heading into the playoffs by going 11-2-0 with a 1.68 goals against, a 944 save percentage, and 2 shutouts in 13 starts since February 16th. In 11 NHL playoff games, 10 starts with the Detroit Red Wings and the Philadelphia Flyers, Mrazek is 4-6 with a 1.98 goals against, 927 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. Some numbers to know. So the Capitals have had 7 players with at least 20 goals. Ovechkin, 51, TJ Oshie, 25, Jacob Verang, 24, Tom Wilson, 22, Nicholas Backstrom, 22, Brett Connolly, 22, and Evgeny Kuznetsov with 21. They were last in the NHL on faceoffs, winning 45.7%, but the Hurricanes won a lot better at 49%, 24th in the NHL. So for the Hurricanes, they led the NHL in averaging 34.4 shots on goal per game while giving up 28.6 shots per game, which were the 3rd fewest. Carolina's penalty kill was 8th at 81.6%, including 8 for 10, 80% against the Capitals. Williams had 94 points, 36 goals, 58 assists in 140 playoff games. So again, doing the injury report. So for the Capitals, defenseman Michael Kempny has had surgery Tuesday to repair a torn hamstring in his left leg sustained against the Tampa Bay Lightning on March 20th. Washington estimated his recovery time at 4 to 6 months, so he's way gone. The Hurricanes defenseman Calvin Hahn sustained an upper body injury against the Pittsburgh Penguins on April 1st and missed April 1st. That sucks. And missed Carolina's final 3 regular season games. His status for the start of the playoffs is unknown. So the Capitals center Nicholas Backstrom said, "We're a hungry group in here. We're not satisfied. We want to move forward." That's what I think is a big key. But it's different when you know you have won it before. And then Hurricanes forward Jordan Stahl said, "We're a team that we're just trying to outwork you. We have talent as well, but our first and foremost thought is we're going to outwork the team across from us." So they will win if. So the Capitals will win if Kuznetsov is as dominant as he was when he led the NHL with 32 playoff points, 12 goals, 20 assists. Last season, he's had good stretches this season, but was erratic and dropped from the NHL career high 83 points, 27 goals, 56 assists last season to 72, 21 goals, 51 assists. His performance is also a key to the Capitals' inconsistent power play, which finished at 20.8%, but went 3 for 25, 12% over the final 10 games. And for the Hurricanes, Aho regains his goal-scoring touch, and they get enough depth scoring. 4 forwards scored 20 goals, Aho 30, Williams 22, Tero Teravainen 21, and rookie Andrei Shvechnikov with 20. Carolina also will need Mrazek to maintain his late-season level of play against Washington's deep offensive attack. So my prediction is, I have written down Caps in 5-6, but that's, again, without reading any of this, it's just kind of like me guessing. Because, I don't think Carolina has much of a chance, but maybe they'll surprise me. It is hockey. I will say the Caps will win in 6. I don't know if that's a good thingy, but I will say they will win in 6 or something like that. If not 6, then 7, but, I don't necessarily see them sweeping, but I don't see them losing at all. So, I do see them winning in 6, maybe 7, if Carolina can force it, because, again, the Caps do have home ice advantage. And on the road, Carolina is 22-16-3, which is not too bad. But Washington at home is fairly good, 24-11-6, so it's pretty good at home. And obviously in the playoffs, they're probably going to play a lot harder too, so I do see it being pretty tough for Carolina, but can they do it? Of course they can. It's the playoffs, and anything can happen. But do I personally think they'll beat the Capitals at all in 7 games, or in any amount? Not really. But good luck to both teams. Whoever made the best team win, and that's all I really got to say. So yeah, good luck to both teams. Have a good series, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I am almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm 10 away, and I'm oh my god, I'm freaking out. 1,000 may not be a lot to most people, but to me, it's oh my god, that's so awesome, because I haven't had that much in a while, so it's I really want that, you know what I mean? It's it doesn't really seem like it'll happen, because I've been waiting for that for so long, but yeah, just give me a sub, please, and thank you. Yeah. So like this video, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I'm right? Do you think the Capitals will win somehow? I don't know. Just let me know in the comments, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And this is my last video for the NHL preview for the round 1. So I will see you guys in round 2. Thanks for watching, and let's see what happens. Hopefully Toronto is in the next round. If they're not, I swear to God. Anyway, guys, good luck to every team in the playoffs. Hopefully Toronto can advance. Hopefully all the Canadian teams advance. And yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Thanks for watching, and peace.